Hey everybody, welcome back to a new video. Last time I promised you that we are gonna build this if I get enough questions from you guys. I got enough questions. I think I got enough questions that we can start building this and I can start answering people's questions in this Q&A. Hopefully I can do two things at the same time. Well, we'll just have to find out. There you go. Walt Disney, everybody. Okay, so the first question is from my dear mother. I would love to leave it at that, but I told you guys that I'm going to answer every question that I get. And the question is, why didn't I ask Santa to bring me this Lego set? Well, first of all, Santa's coming by the end of the month, like 24th or 25th. And I wanted to do this video sooner, so I wanted to buy it myself and not wait for Santa to bring it. But if Santa wants to bring me something, there's always, well, a need for a new laptop. There's a need for a smartwatch. I'd love to have them as an Apple product because I'm in the Apple economy. Is it economy? I'm in the, you know, yeah, something like that. And of course, I've been thinking about 3D printer. If I ever get a 3D printer, I will be telling you guys why I got it. But right now, I'm not gonna be telling you why I want a 3D printer. Is it black or is it gray? It's black. So this comes here. I don't know why I have the need to explain out loud what I need and where they're gonna go, but first piece ready. So first piece, yeah. So the second question is, while working full-time and finding time to spend with loved ones, how do you come up with video topics and find time to film and edit? I actually did a video a while back, and every video that I mention here, I'm gonna put a flag up here. It was on the left side. It pops up over here somewhere. I did a video about 5 tips on how to make videos, how to create content while having a full-time job. I got my full-time job. I got a lot of things going on, but like I've said before, mainly when I'm at my full-time job, I do only night shifts. And when I do night shifts, those night shifts are sometimes pretty slow and calm. And during that time, I have time for myself and I have time to come up with topics for videos and just write them down. And at home on free days, if I'm feeling lazy and not really into making a video, I just read out those topics and start to figure out what kind of script I'm gonna have. Usually I don't have a well-written script at all. I have something that I'm just gonna go with. I have a few topics related to that topic. I don't know if you understand what I mean. There's just like, you know, for example, you're talking about a lens and I just make smaller topics, like for example, the Viltrox 35mm is the big topic, and then I make smaller topics beneath that. For example, talk about the sharpness, talk about the autofocus, and what is gonna be the, like, how I'm gonna do it, like in what order I'm gonna talk about those, and that helps me edit in the future. Now, how I edit, it's a quick process because of my full-time job and I don't wanna be spending that much time on the computer editing. I use a lot of tools. Now, the tools that I use are pretty much like free presets, free transitions. Maybe I might use, once in a while, I might use Motion Array, for example, or if I have the full subscription to Artlist, I might use some of their presets and stuff like that. And I got a lot of LUTs that I use. And a while back, I did a video for the enhancer, and I got that program, that, you know, add-on to Premiere Pro that helps me color grade my footage. It's just like a few clicks here and there. I've saved them as presets. Sometimes they just work out like that. So that's pretty easy, and that's how I roll pretty much. Okay, to the second question. Do you have any goals regarding YouTube? Do you aspire to be a full-time YouTuber, or is it just a hobby? Well, that is pretty much the full-time thing, is what I'm going for, what people usually want from this. It's really nice to do these things as a hobby too, and make a profession out of your hobby, like photography. I've done some gigs as a photographer. I enjoy it, and well, doing YouTube, being a content creator, it would be awesome to, you know, do it as full time, and just entertain people, show people around, and, you know, review cameras, lenses, show your photography to the world and show yourself to the world. This is pretty exposing. In my I want to be a YouTuber short cinematic, I said that there's no means to an end to this thing, and there really isn't. It's just for enjoyment and having fun, and if I get to do it as full time and get paid to do it, it's just better. I get to do it all the time, as much as I want. And if there is a means to an end to this thing, it is going to be the fact that I'm going to get to see the world. I'm gonna get to see the places that I want to see and take those photos that I really wanted to take since I was a kid. I know what this is gonna be. I could probably use this in my videos, you know? That's kind of cool. Okay, to the third question. If you could eat only one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? That is actually a difficult question, because most people would probably answer like pizza or burgers. But let's just say if you'd say pizza or burgers or something like that, you wouldn't live very long, would you? Your veins wouldn't like that. No, definitely not. I'm kind of a masochist on this, and I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna be eating a chicken Caesar salad for the rest of my life. Why is that? Because I can decide if I want to keep croutons on the salad, or maybe I want to get rid of the chicken, have a non-chicken Caesar salad. You know, you got the, you know, Greek cheese, and you got some olives, you got some chicken on it, you got the Caesar dressing, and I want it to be like everything is sorted out so that I can pick every time that what I'm gonna use on the dish. Maybe one day I just want to eat olives and chicken, so that's that's different. But yeah, a chicken Caesar salad. I just gotta quickly say that if you haven't been watching Jack Reacher on Prime TV, go check that out. That is one hell of a show. My dad loves Jack Reacher. He's read all the books. And when you're talking about something that is made from books to TV, forget about the Tom Cruise movies, because this is totally different. Jack Reacher is looking like he should look. He is a big motherfucker who just, you know, kicks doors down and beats people up and solves murders. That is Jack Reacher. That is, the show portrays Jack just as I've seen him my whole life. Alan Ritchson is a hell of an actor and a hell of a guy to act, you know, Reacher. And yeah, he's got his own problems. I've seen a lot of interviews, and I know a lot of stuff about him. He's bipolar and stuff like that, and how that affects his acting, and, you know, all of that. And I have nothing else than respect for that guy. Kidoki. And on to the fourth question. What are your main goals for 2024? Photography, content creation, and everyday life. Okay, let's tackle that one at a time. Photography. Well, I try to learn something little, at least something little about photography every day. I try to go out and shoot. I carry some kind of camera with me, either it's my X100V or a bigger camera, just to take a photo at least once a day and just see the results and try to edit it as best as I can, just to make even the shittiest photo look as best as possible. I haven't been posting photos really that much lately because I've been really into making these videos, and I show my photos mainly on, you know, YouTube videos. So I haven't had I haven't found the reason to post on other social media platforms right now. I'd love to take a trip to somewhere where I can take a bucket shot, because that is something that I want to do. Every year, at least one bucket shot. I get to come home, I get to edit it, I get to print it, put it into a frame, and put it on my wall or somewhere just for safekeeping. Just to look at a later date and be like, I was there and I took that photo and I wanted to go there and I got to go there. That is something that I want to do. Content creation wise, of course, grow my YouTube channel. Like I said before, I'd really love to get to do this full time, and that means that the more views I get, the more subscribers I get. That helps out a lot, and I get to get some ad revenue out of it, and maybe some brand deals, maybe some sponsorships, so stuff like that, just to help me out, get me on my feet, and start doing this full time. That is the plan. I'm pretty much already where I want to be at the moment. My first milestone after I turned 36, I said that 36, I always thought that was the year you either make it or break it. And that right now, 36 seems to be the year that I'm gonna break it, because my first milestone was to monetize my channel. Well, I monetized it because we got the lower rates. You need only 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours for the to get to the YouTube program. I got there, but I'm not getting any ad revenue right now. So the next thing is to get that 4,000 watch hours, get that 1,000 subscribers, and start getting ad revenue. And I'm almost there. So there's the first milestone. The second milestone is just to get better, get more views, get more people to watch me, be interesting, and just, you know, learn more about making YouTube videos and content creation. Okay, so what are my main goals for the rest of my life, or mainly my life in 2024? Well, my life right now is work in content creation, making YouTubes, trying to make as much as possible, enjoying every moment of it. I don't regret anything. So what I want is to make it full time, and I know when I get to do this full time, it's not gonna make my life easier, let's say like this, but I have at least a little bit of control over my life. Right now, I feel like I don't have that much of control. I'm an ER nurse. I have to go to work. I have to do 3 different shifts. Well, not right now. Now I'm doing all night shifts, but usually we have to do 3 different kind of shifts. It is really hard. The free time, the downtime we have, it usually goes to just resting up and heading out to work again. It is a bummer. It is really hard work. It is physically and emotionally damaging work. So I wish I could just move to content creation, and even though it sounds a little bit sad, but I'm wishing to quit nursing altogether. Question number 6. What is your favorite style of photography to look at, and what is your favorite style of photography to shoot? That's an interesting question, because, you know, they're not the same thing. You could probably think that, okay, there's a guy who shoots portraits. He loves to look at portraits. That's not the thing. I love looking at streets, and I love looking at sceneries, landscapes, but usually cityscapes. I don't know what it is about cityscapes and, you know, small streets and dimly lit neon lights and making it look kind of like futuristic or retro or whatever you want to call it, because it looks futuristic retro. It's like futuristic retro, right? What I love to take myself, I'd love to try and take more pictures like that myself, but we don't have like dimly lit neon lights and small streets here. We have small towns with small streets, but that's pretty much it. Usually when I hit town, I just, you know, don't really find anything to shoot because I feel like I've shot everything that I can find there. And it's really hard. And if I'd be in a bigger town like New York, Tokyo, Osaka, maybe somewhere else, I don't know. One that I'd really love to see is New Orleans for some reason, because that is like old school kind of French meets USA thing, and those streets are pretty awesome. But I love to see those kind of things. I love to look at those kind of things. Good example is GX Ace, who does really cinematic videos, and his style in photography is just that kind of futuristic retro. His style is really awesome. The lighting and all the details he can find just on the streets is unbelievable. I do also love portraits. Portraits, I love them, but it's just that I don't really have the people skills. I don't have the skills to tell the model what to do, and it feels awkward sometimes trying to do portrait photography. I love taking self-portraits though. For some reason my Zoom H4n is sucking up batteries really quickly. It just can't hold up with what I'm doing right now. Usually when I do videos, they're like maximum of 30 minutes that I'm recording in the studio, and it holds up really well, but now it doesn't hold up for longer videos. It's a bummer. I don't know if it's the batteries that I've bought, or is it actually something to do with the settings of the Zoom. Have to try and figure that out. The 7th and the 8th question, these I'm going to combine. Favorite place to shoot, or favorite place to shoot in central Finland / Jyväskylä, that is my hometown. Favorite place of all to shoot? That's a hard one. I'd probably say right now is Iceland. I visited Iceland once and I'm eager to get back there and shoot more. I love the scenery. I love the seaside. I just, even though we were there in spring, it looked awesome. You got these snowy mountain tops, awesome sceneries. Even though it's cold, windy, rainy, foggy, it's a mystical place. It's like a world of its own. And it is. It's far away from, everywhere. Favorite place to shoot in central Finland or my hometown? Well, not really in my hometown, but in central Finland is this place called Hähnimäki that I've visited a lot when I've been doing videos. It's got this great viewpoint that has a cottage on top of it. The scenery is really awesome. It's got a lot of fireplaces and stuff like that. So that is a place that I'd love to go to with friends, and maybe a model or somebody who would just love to, be in front of the camera taking shots of, making cowboy coffee or something like that. That is just, it's an awesome place. How about some tips and tricks for shooting in cold weather and snowy weather? Also managing condensation on cold soaked camera gear. It's coming on winter here in Quebec, and I'll be taking my Fuji X100V out for some landscape photography. So the X100V is actually pretty safe, or that's what I think. I've been taking it outside and it doesn't really affect the shooting, even though it's really snowy or it's almost a blizzard out there. It is weather sealed. It is a nice small camera that you can put in your pocket if you feel like it's getting too much exposure. And for the condensation and everything, How do I manage the condensation? Well, let's say that if you'd really want to be careful on a blizzard, rainy weather, let's say for example, let's say that it is pouring down rain, I'd use a rain hood for my camera. It doesn't matter what kind of camera it is, I'd use that. Usually when it's pouring outside, I don't go outside and shoot because I don't have any rain hoods or those kind of things for my camera. The condensation, if there is moist, if there is like drizzling a little bit and my camera gets wet, I usually just put it inside a towel and wait for it to soak up the moisture that it has on it. I don't really feel that it is getting that soaked. My cameras are all fine. They're not, you know, right now at least, not having any issues with condensation or that they've gotten wet sometimes. Cameras are meant to be used. Cameras are meant to, you know, have a little bit of dents and a little bit of dirt on them. It's just something that I feel like that if you're doing landscape photography, you gotta get used to it. You can't be too scared of busting out your equipment. If you are scared of busting out your equipment, get insurance. That is something that I highly suggest. You're spending, you know, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars on your equipment. Get insurance. That helps out a lot. So the 20th question, other than Japan, what other country or countries do you want to travel and photograph? Places around Canada, Main Street in, was it Toronto? I'd love to visit places with mountains. There's some cities like New York, like USA and Canada, North America, you know, in general is just one of those places that I love to visit because of different kind of places. New Orleans, New York, Canada itself, Banff, Toronto, you know, different cities, different areas. In Europe, I'd probably love to go back to Italy someday. I visited Italy twice in my life and it is a nice and warm place. Rome, not Rome anymore, but I love to visit like Tuscany and, you know, and Ireland. I've been to Dublin, but I'd love to see the countryside more. And I'd do anything to get back to Scotland. Scotland is one of the greatest places I've ever been to. Okay, I'm gonna have a little coffee break right now and we're gonna continue just in a minute.
A few moments later.
Okay, the break is over. While I was waiting for my cameras and stuff to reload because, well, dumb me, don't have enough batteries for these cameras and I don't have enough memory cards right now. Actually I do, but for some reason I didn't use them. So I emptied the memory cards that I'm using now and now I get on with this. So what I did while I was waiting for the cameras to reload and the memory cards to empty up onto the computer, I finished this. This is the tripod and there is the camera on top. You can see it coming along, and the funny thing about this camera is that there is like a quarters, some kind of living quarter, not a living quarter, but like filming quarter there that you know, Walt Disney is inside just sitting down and filming things. What I love about this is these small details that you can see here. Actually, I'm just gonna try and go somewhere away that it doesn't track my eyes. These small details, like having these cranks and stuff, is just awesome. This is like, now I get it why this is like 18 plus years, not for little children. That was like the 4th package and we are going to go on to the 5th package. So the next question is, what motivates my passion? There is actually only one thing that motivates my passion, and that is to be happy. I really want to be happy, and I am happy when I'm doing this, and that makes other people around me happy because I'm not a grumpy old bastard every day, every time of the year, in every situation. I feel proud of myself. I feel good about myself when I do this and I see the end results. I see how far I've come from my first video, all this just feels so nice. That is what motivates my passion. And that is what motivates me to do more and do this full time. What's your biggest regret? I actually did a video about this too. What is my biggest regret? And one of my biggest regrets is listening to others when I was younger. I mean, I was a people pleaser and I loved, you know, just keeping people happy and doing what they do. But that in that case, when you're keeping people happy and doing what they want you to do, you're not happy yourself. And that's why I regret being a people pleaser, because, well, now even though I love my family, I listen to a lot of their concerns and their opinions, and in the end that made me do or not do a lot of stuff like travel that I really wanted to do. I wanted to travel a lot at one point. I wanted to visit a lot of places. I wanted to meet new people. And I was pretty much like 16 years old the first time I realized that I really want to go to Japan. I really want to go see that place, experience that place. I wasn't really shooting photos back then, but I really wanted to experience a lot of things. But I went ahead and listened to other people and what they didn't want me to do, and I didn't do those things what they didn't want me to do, and traveling was a part of it. I realized that other people's opinions and things that they say, that doesn't mean shit. You just do what you want to do. You do what you love to do. I get the point that my family and my mother maybe thought that I was an anarchist. I was a really bad child of some sort, but at the point when I wanted to travel and at the point when I was living alone and doing work and stuff like that, I felt like I had calmed down a lot, and I just wanted to express myself in other ways than being a rascal, you know? So that's it. What is your favorite lens? Which is the most versatile lens? Well, that is a hard question. I've said it before, my favorite lens is the 56mm, aka the 85mm. I love the focal length. It has really nice compression and it really blurs out the background, especially the 56 1.2. And well, my most versatile lens right now is Tamron, was it 17 to 70mm f2.8, and that is a great lens. That is a great overall lens. After like, I don't know, 35mm, it gets pretty soft if you're shooting at 2.8, but that you just crank it up to 5.6 and it really sharpens up the picture. And it doesn't matter if you're shooting at 70mm on a crop sensor that is about 105mm in a full frame. So the 5.6, it still blurs out the background and separates the subject from that background. So that is not a big deal. Okay, and then the next question. Of all the items that you have on display in your home office, which one is your favorite? That is a hard question. It depends on pretty much on what the mood I'm in. I think Baby Yoda is pretty cute. I've got my Final Fantasy 7, figures up there. Those two figures are my favorite figures of all time. My favorite characters in gaming history of all time. Of course, I got my own pictures. I've got the Lego set from the Friends. That is the Central Perk Cafe. And I got a lot of things here that could be my favorite, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the gaming characters because Cloud and Sephiroth were like the first characters that made me or impacted me in storytelling and gaming and stuff like that. So they've stuck with me since I was pretty much, I'm guessing 14 or something. No, actually younger. 12. I started playing Final Fantasy 7 when I was 12. And next question, I guess this is question number 15 or something. When I visit Finland, can I get a day to go out and shoot some photos with you? I don't know when I'll be able to make a trip there, but I want to. Of course, anybody who visits Finland, anybody who's around here, if you are a content creator, if you are a photographer, you are always welcome to come and shoot with me. That is a promise. But there is the fact that, like I said before, I am a full-time ER nurse, and we plan our, work schedule 3 months prior to being released. So if you inform me like a month before that, hey, I'm coming to Finland, it might be a little bit risky, and there is a big chance that the date is taken and I have to go to work. So there's that. Yeah, I have to know at least 3 months prior to, schedule and take that day off and plan that day off, or a few days off, whatever. So there's that. When will we get ASMR videos? So there's a little story behind this. Now, some of you guys might have heard me whisper into the mic and stuff like that, but this isn't about that. This is not about whisper ASMR or anything. This is about camera gear ASMR. On the contrary, I said that I would sell this lens. This is the 56mm. I did not. I love this lens so much, so I just decided to keep it. But I'm using this as an example, what I mean. So the ASMR that this question is talking about, that is what the question is talking about. That question was brought to me by my dear co-worker Amanda, who saw a short video of me clicking this lens, and she was like, when are we getting photography related ASMR? And I was like, well, that's a good idea. I have to plan it out. Haven't really planned it out yet, but we are gonna do it someday. Photography related ASMR. You gotta try out different things. I'm not gonna say no to that. One does not simply lose a piece of Lego. How do you relax? Any tips? Listen to ASMR. Just kidding. Well, not really. I do listen to ASMR sometimes. It is really relaxing. There is nothing perverse about ASMR when it's done right. So it is really relaxing. But then there's the fact that I play a lot of video games. I just take walks, and then I take my fun camera, that is the X100V, and go outside and take some photos. I haven't done that for a while, like purposefully, intentionally, like just take out the camera and take a hike, a walk. I've played a lot of video games. It is the end of the year. There is a lot of awesome video games like Max Payne, Alan Wake 2, coming from a Finnish game company, and creating this storytelling masterpiece that I'm definitely gonna make a video about. I just love, turning my brain off and going into a totally different world and save that world. Next question number 18. I have a Canon EOS 2000D. What would be the best settings to take video, or is it so outdated that I should just get a new one? I saw Canon R50 being advertised on some YouTubers' video. Opinions on that? To tell the truth, frankly, I think the Canon EOS 2000D is a little bit outdated, but still, older cameras are great to begin with. They are great to start with when you're doing your journey with content creation. People say that gear doesn't matter, but still, you see the quality difference when it's shot on a GoPro and when it's shot on a professional camera, or when it's shot on an iPhone. Well, no, okay, probably the iPhone quality is starting to the gap is starting to be a little bit smaller between the iPhone and the, professional camera. But on the move, when I'm not planning anything, when I'm doing a vlog, I see the quality fluctuating a lot. It might be the user, but fluctuating a lot with the iPhone. But when I use my professional camera, it's consistent. On the EOS R50, I do not know anything about that camera. I tried looking a video about it a while back and I totally forgot that camera. So that pretty much speaks for itself. When you forget a camera, it means that it's not that meaningful. It is probably a great beginner camera because it is small, compact, and great to, you know, use for vlogs, but still, there are a lot of creators out there that I suggest watching, like Gerald Undone. Well, that's pretty much it. Gerald Undone. Watch Gerald Undone. He's got great reviews on different kind of cameras, and he's gonna help you decide on what kind of camera you want. Best camera for traveling. Whoop. Okay, so that is an opinion-based question. Somebody might tell you that the one you got with you, the one that's in your pocket, like the iPhone 15 or 14 or 13 or 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, whatever, but still it's what you desire to be the best camera. That is a round overall answer to that question. I think, like, I love to carry all my gear when I go traveling, just to, you know, be prepared for every kind of situation. You got your professional style cameras for video and vlogging. You got your professional style photography camera like the XH2 to get high detail photos of landscapes or portraits if needed to. But then you got, you know, your film cameras if you want to just take some memories, capture some memories, and you got your X100V for that too, or leave those film cameras home and just use the X100V. The X100V is easy to travel with because it is small and light. It fits in your pocket sometimes, depending on your pocket. Yeah, so it totally depends. Sometimes you could just leave with one camera, but I like to keep a backup with me. Depends on what you're looking for. Totally depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for professional style cameras? Are you looking for a point and shoot camera? Are you looking for a fixed lens, zoom, small, Sony, you know, some kind of pocket camera? I don't know. It depends on that. A lot of things depend on that. The question itself is really broad. It is hard to tell you what is the best camera for traveling when I don't know what you want, what you like. Those kind of, I need to ask some questions to that question to answer it. What's in your camera bag? I did a video about that too. I got my Shure lenses, I got my photography lenses, I got 2 cameras or 3 cameras depending on the day. I got my XH2S, I got my XH2, I got my X100V, I got my microphone, I got my Mantispod Pro, I got a lot of things. Sorry. Coffee burp. Okay, so check out that video. I just told you guys in that video what is in my camera bag 2024 because, well, it's the end of 2023 and that gear is just moving on with me to 2024 and going to be with me there for a long time. I'm just gonna skip a little bit to the end of building this because I still got one package here and I got one question, so, and here it is. Just need a little finishing touch to it. Okay, that's more like it. That's more like it. Okay, that's it. Just some minor adjustments to it. And the last question, have you ever thought about making an epic video sequence about cars or a car? Well, the only car that I own is a Renault Clio. So there's not much of epicness, or there is not much epic in making a video about a Clio. I definitely love to, but I definitely want a car that is worth making or trying to make an epic sequence about. But yeah, let's put on some I don't know, B-roll, show you these Legos, and that's it. If you like the video, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Remember to keep those questions flowing. If you want to ask something, I'll try to answer as best as I can. Usually answering text is just bothersome because it really needs a longer description, and I love to talk about things more than write about things. So, but yeah, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I'll be seeing you on the next one. Peace out.